this new coaches committee, which sent many in the area into a panic. Superintendent Darren Strosahl admits the initial rollout was problematic and anything but smooth. With the new recommendation, the district will be inviting the school's current activities director, as well as community members and students, to help run the activities committee.
How are we doing in terms of making renewal of coaches if we don't have evaluations completed, if we don't have complaints filed and handled properly and those things, and how do we do that? So that's part of working through that and working together to make sure that we can accomplish those things and meet board expectations and help support our coaches.
All coaches from last spring and this fall have been recommended to continue coaching. The recommendation will be brought up at the next school board meeting, which is happening on Monday.
We know education is an issue that matters to you, and you can help make a difference in a young person's life by becoming a special education teacher. Rochester Public Schools is holding a special education teacher hiring event today. Anyone with a 4-year degree can become a teacher. Positions are needed for birth through 3 years old, early childhood, as well as elementary and secondary schools. The walk-in hiring event is from 10 to 4 today at the Edison Building. Virtual interviews are also available. Time now for a quick check on the weather. Our David Burgett is out on the weather patio this morning for what is looking to be another sunny day. Hey, David.
Hey, yeah, another sunny day here for much of Olmsted County and all across southeastern Minnesota and northeast Iowa. This morning, temperatures feel cold out here on the weather patio. A little chilly, not too bad, but we are seeing temperatures into the upper 30s and lower 40s. We're about 21 to 20 degrees above average for overnight low here in Rochester. Typically, we're in the teens. Right now in December, we're seeing some cloud coverage start to filter in across on our radar across the I-90 corridor along I-35. We are having wind speeds out of the west-southwest this morning, making it breezy here through Rochester and even into Preston and even in Cresco at 17 miles per hour for those wind speeds, in Mason City at 14. For today, we can expect temperatures to warm up into the upper 40s and lower 50s with some sunshine in the forecast before some cloudy conditions start to build in the forecast for around the evening hours for your Friday night, for the start of your weekend. We are going to be seeing two fronts. One are going to be ahead of us, but one on the back end could fire off some snow for us into the early morning hours and into the early afternoon hours for your Saturday. But I'm tracking the last of this warming trend for today, but potentially that snow for tomorrow. So I'm going to have that and break it down for you in my forecast just a few minutes ahead.
Great. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate your in-depth reporting on what we need to know, especially coming tomorrow with a little bit of a change in the forecast.
Yes, yeah, so that'll be an abrupt change in those temperatures.
Yeah, just a little bit. Thanks for the heads up. We have an update this morning about the so-called swatting incidents playing out in Rochester and across Minnesota. Swatting is the act of making a fake threat in an attempt to bring a large law enforcement presence to a specific address. Rochester police say B'nai Israel Synagogue received a swatting email on Wednesday that contained a bomb threat. Officers say a second swatting incident happened the same day in Rochester, but are not saying exactly where. According to the Minnesota BCA, 25 schools and 9 Jewish facilities across the state were targeted with shooting or bombing threats. The agency reports all the messages were nearly identical. Right now, there are no known suspects at this time. Another update here, a third death has been reported in the U.S. in an outbreak of salmonella tied to whole and pre-cut cantaloupe products. The FDA is now reporting 230 cases of illness in 38 states, including 3 U.S. deaths, 2 of which were here in Minnesota. Canada is also confirming 129 salmonella cases, including 5 deaths in 6 provinces. The outbreak is tied to cantaloupes grown in Mexico and under the Rudy and Malachita brands. The cut fruit products have been sold at Sprouts, Trader Joe's, Quick Trip, and Walmart.
An investigation is underway after a man was found dead in what authorities are calling a fatal industrial accident in Mankato. Crews from Mankato Public Safety and Fire Services responded just before 9:30 Thursday morning. They say an unresponsive man was discovered on the roof where he had allegedly been doing repairs. Emergency personnel were not allowed immediate access to the scene until Xcel Energy confirmed the area was ready and secure and safety for entry. It was later determined the man was dead. Right now, the cause of death is unclear. The Minnesota BCA is investigating an officer-involved shooting in St. Paul. This happened around 2 Thursday afternoon. According to law enforcement, a woman called the police because a man was following her in her vehicle. She says that man allegedly drove into her car intentionally, broke one of her windows, and had a gun. The responding officer confronted the man. That's when police say the suspect shot the officer in the leg and the officer returned the fire, critically wounding the suspect. Both were taken to the hospital. The officer has been released. The suspect has life-threatening injuries.
Former President Trump continues to try and get his federal election interference charges thrown out. Trump and his team do plan to file an appeal, and in the meantime, they say the case should be paused. Last week, the trial judge determined Trump's time as president does not afford him absolute immunity from criminal charges related to what he allegedly said and did after the 2020 election. But Trump's attorneys say Trump's alleged actions were part of his official duties as president. Regardless of what the appeals court decides, the Supreme Court will likely have to weigh in on the issue of presidential protections. The trial is currently scheduled to begin in March.
A woman is in custody after attempting arson after allegedly trying to set Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth home on fire. Authorities responded to the home in Atlanta shortly before 6 Thursday night. The home has been temporarily closed for rehabilitation work. When authorities arrived, they found 2 off-duty officers who were visiting the center who had the suspect detained until law enforcement could arrive. 2 tourists who were in the area say they saw a woman pouring gasoline on the home and interrupted her. The 26-year-old suspect has been charged with criminal attempted arson and criminal attempted interference with government property. Golfing season may be over, but there's still some options to keep your skills from getting rusty.
Yeah, X Golf has officially opened a brand new location in Rochester. It features several state-of-the-art simulators with different modes and settings. It looks pretty cool here. The business hopes this accessibility to the sport will maybe inspire people to give golf a try if they haven't done so already, while also serving as an opportunity for golf enthusiasts in Rochester to get in some off-season work before the spring comes.
It's just a great alternative, and then for the other many thousands of people like myself that are addicted to this game, you know, with Minnesota weather, it's hard to put your clubs away for 6 months and watch them catch dust. Here they're out every day.
Isn't that a true statement? The facility is looking to host different leagues across the area. X Golf's grand opening is coming up here soon on Wednesday, December 20th. I have a feeling that place is going to be pretty busy this winter.
Oh, I think so. It's the perfect way to get in a few rounds and not have to freeze.
Right? And if you want to learn, what a great way to do it too. Right?
Yeah.
Indoors, you got everything you need right there.
Yeah.
Love to
It's
see
like a lot of fun.
It is 6:08 on this Friday morning. We have a live report from our nation's capital regarding Hunter Biden and some more news. But first, here's David.
We are going to be seeing temperatures into the 50s this afternoon all across the region, but a cold front's going to sweep through and bring our temperatures back down to the 30s. I'll have the details just ahead.
Making headlines in Washington, Hunter Biden is back in the news as he was once again indicted on 9 federal tax offenses.
Yeah, this, of course, is in addition to some prior federal firearms charges for him. KTTC's Washington correspondent Ashanti Ford is joining us live in D.C. once again this morning to share some more insight on all of this. Good morning, Ashanti.
Good morning to you both.
Awesome. We're happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about what this indictment says and what it kind of means for the president's son.
Sure. So Hunter Biden engaged in a 4-year scheme in which he chose to not pay at least $1.4 million in federal taxes. Allegedly, the indictment said he filed false returns, spending millions of dollars on what they're calling an extravagant lifestyle when he should have been paying his tax bills. Apparently in 2018, he stopped paying his already overdue taxes from back in 2015. Now, this is the thing, guys. If convicted, he faces a maximum penalty of 17 years in prison. But I think a big thing here for a lot of folks is, can they link these alleged charges to his dad, President Joe Biden? That's yet to be said. But again, if found guilty, he can face up to 17 years in prison.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that insight. Ashanti, in other news, the Senate is continuing to debate a national security supplemental package. Now funding for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan is stalled as a battle other providing southern border funding continues to play out as well. So what can you tell us about that?
So for people that are confused, like, hey, well, what does one thing have to do with the other, right? What's happening here is the Senate has tied foreign aid and immigration policy together. And as expected, Senate Republicans have denied the National Security Supplemental Bill. That's a tongue twister. They've denied the National Security Supplemental Bill. We know President Biden has been pushing to get this aid to our allies before the end of the year, really. And if this passes, guys, this would give billions of dollars to Ukraine, to Israel, other Indo-Pacific countries like Taiwan. But Republicans won't vote yes on that until there are significant changes to our current border policies. They've always said that, right? They've always said that border security for them is national security, and it needs to be prioritized over supplying other countries with resources to fund their wars. And even though Minority Leader Chuck Schumer did say that President Biden added some border security provisions to the proposal he sent, Senate Republicans are saying that it's just simply not enough.
Okay, yeah, definitely a conversation we're going to continue to follow and talk about. I'm sure it's a pretty big issue. Ashanti, we appreciate all of your hard work in reporting this morning. We hope you have a wonderful weekend.
You as well.
Thank you.
You know, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. And if you need a little more Christmas cheer this morning, like in the movie Elf, we have a nice Christmas display here with all the windows in downtown Rochester. So definitely a lot more of those of Christmas cheer this morning. But I not feel like more Christmas because we have 37 degrees here, a little warmer than average, about 21 degrees warmer than we normally see here in Rochester for this time of year in December. We are going to be seeing temperatures into the upper 30s and lower 40s across the region at the moment, and we are going to be seeing those warmer temperatures increase throughout the day into the low 50s and upper 40s. We are going to have some cloud coverage lingering on through the area right now along the I-35 corridor and along the I-90 corridor, more west right now, lingering into Olmsted County. But for today, as we go off to school for your kids, we are going to be seeing temperatures into the mid-30s, mid to upper 30s for us and some clear skies. Those clouds will roll back in with temperatures more mild into the 50s today, so the last of this warming trend. And I mean the last of this warming trend because we're going to see 50s this afternoon, dipping down over in the overnight hours into the 30s, lasting through tomorrow morning. So that's going to be when a cold front passes through the region. So for today at least, we can expect that sunshine in low 50s for our temperature, and then tomorrow we'll see a light snow chance when that cold front passes through for tomorrow afternoon, but we'll see more mild temperatures back on Wednesday and Thursday next week as we get into the average for this weekend. So like I said, we're going to see that snow chance for this weekend. We're going to see a low pressure system in front of us here and actually along the Wisconsin, and this front right here into North Dakota is going to slide on down through the afternoon and overnight hours into the afternoon for us here in Rochester, and of course portions above the I-90 corridor for us. So temperatures today will be into the mid to lower 50s across much of the region here. Winds will be more out of the west. We're going to really start to see a sandwich between two fronts tomorrow morning into the early morning hours. One off to our east there into western Wisconsin. That rainfall tracks a little bit more eastward. We could get some light rain into Winneshiek County and Allamakee there in Houston. But over the course of tomorrow morning into the afternoon hours, we'll start to see a little bit of light snowfall according to this model run right here, and starts to really dissipate towards the later afternoon and early evening hours. The temperatures into the upper 20s and lower 30s across the region. So not a lot of some light snowfall accumulated. We'll be here for that. So some stray conditions for that snowfall for tomorrow as the models are getting more information in, but light snowfall probably less than an inch more of a dusting. Over the course next to 6 to 10 days from the 13th to the 17th though, we're going to see a temperature trend. The Climate Prediction Center is predicting for us to be above average for our temperatures as we head into the mid to late December now. So we're going to see more above average temperatures. But like today, we'll see those temperatures into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Great day to take your dog for a WALK. But for tomorrow, we'll see the chance for those flurries and light snow into the afternoon hours and for some breezy conditions too. And those breezy conditions will pretty much be around for Saturday, but temperatures more seasonal as we get into the early part of next week.
Okay.
And more sunshine in that forecast.
Yeah, we're never going to complain about more sunshine mind, David. That's one thing for sure, especially this time of year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you get the snow on the ground, it becomes a little hard to see.
Yeah.
So definitely sunglasses if we get enough snow later on this winter.
All right, well, we'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much. We also have an update now from Jess and the KTTC Spain travelers overseas. Of course, they've been enjoying such a fabulous time. They've been in they have been visiting recently Marbella, the coastal resort town. It's filled with beautiful streets and alleys and all the things. And after exploring for a little bit, it was all smiles, they say, at Flamenco. Take a look. Wow!
Oh my gosh, I'm speechless.
That was so cool.
She's incredible.
Seriously, it was beautiful. The group then wrapped up their adventure in Marbella with a stroll along the seashore and a multi-course Mediterranean lunch. I mean, come on. Seafood specialties, wine, and paella.
I think that's it right there.
Oh,
Yum.
yeah. I mean, does it get any better than that?
Oh my gosh.
Jess tells us up next on their adventure is the much-anticipated journey to the beautiful mountaintop city of Ronda and its gorge. So we're going to have to stay tuned for the photos and videos that they send us from that. I mean, this is just giving me FOMO.
Oh
looking
my
at all this
gosh,
stuff.
she is having such an incredible time, and it's fun that we can kind of get a little inside look with her and the
Right?
KTTC crew with these photos and videos. It's been
So
fun.
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad the weather held out for them. I know she was
Yes.
worried as she got there on Tuesday this
Yeah.
week. So I think the weather looks really nice for them too.
Yeah, that's
love
super
it.
great to hear too.
Yeah.
Cherry on top. Thanks, Jess. We appreciate all your videos and photos. Up next this morning, we're going to look ahead to tonight's matchup on the ice for the Austin Bruins. Plus, it is Friday, which means it's Sports Extra Night, and we've got you covered with a preview next in sports.
Good morning, friends. I'm Julian Mitchell. It's Friday, so you know we have a big day of local sports coming up. Sports Extra tonight. But before that, let's take a look at some local action from last night. Had some great games, starting with a Big 9 battle at John Marshall. Rockets knocked off Austin 67-51. The JM boys are now 2-0 on the year and will host Century in a crosstown rivalry game on Tuesday. Next to a ranked matchup, 10th-ranked Lake City on the road against 16 Byron. Bears threw a haymaker to start, leading by 20 in the second half, but Lake City answered, storming back to win 66-63. Keegan Ryan had a career-high 27. Jaden Jones added 24. Lake City will face Lord on Monday, while Byron travels to Faribault today. Lastly, in girls hoops, Cassie Manorville hosted 4th-ranked Goodhue. Wildcats get the win 69-54. Elizabeth Gadiant led all scorers with 34. Next up for Goodhue is a big-ticket game against number 1 Providence Academy on Saturday. Great night of hoops last night. We'll have another great night tonight on Sports Extra. And lastly, on the ice at Riverside Arena, the Austin Bruins host the Minot Minotauros. Minot leads the Central Division. Austin 4 points back, so a big 2-game series starts here, kicking off tonight at 7:05. We'll have those highlights as well on Sports Extra. So I hope you join us for the big show at 10. For now, that is a look at sports. It's a good day. Have a great day.
If you're a fan of Netflix show Squid Game and want to attempt an actual obstacle course, then you're in luck.
Yeah, Netflix will soon be opening locations that will allow fans to fully immerse themselves in their favorite Netflix shows. They are going to be called Netflix houses and will have rotating installations. Fans will not only be able to shop for themed products, but also eat food based on the shows and play some games as well. The company is aiming to launch the first 2 locations in the U.S. in 2025 before expanding globally. However, the exact locations have yet to be announced. The company has previously launched dozens of pop-up locations for this, but Netflix House will be a permanent location.
Legendary actor Jimmy Stewart may no longer be with us physically, but his voice lives on. The Calm app features an AI-generated version of the Academy Award winner for one of its soothing stories. The tale is called It's a Wonderful Sleep Story, in honor of Stewart's famous holiday movie. It will be available beginning on Christmas Eve. Calm says it worked with the late actor's family on the project and the AI company Re-Speecher.
Love that. Coming up after us this morning on today, a look at some of the speculation surrounding Oprah Winfrey and her dramatic new weight loss. The media mogul has always shared her weight loss journey and struggles. She recently generated buzz online when she stunned with her new physique on the red carpet this week. It left some fans on social media wondering if she used more than just diet and exercise. So tune in to hear Oprah's response to the idea of using weight loss drugs coming up next on the Today Show. It is 6:27 this morning, a special shopping experience for Southeast Minnesota kids.
This is so fun. The Rochester Police Department's Shop with a Cop is returning this weekend. We'll tell you where and when it's happening. Stay with us.
Making headlines this morning, a lot of change is happening in southern Minnesota, from roads to healthcare to schools. We're hearing insight on it all from Governor Walz.
Plus, Olmsted County taxpayers prepare for your property taxes to go up. How local officials are responding to residents' concerns.
Speaking of changes, we're going to see a change in our temperatures all when a cold front slides through. I have the details just ahead.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is sharing his thoughts on important issues in southern Minnesota, including the funding crisis in Rochester Public Schools. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelsey Marrier.
And I'm Darian Letty in for Jess. Good morning. That issue is now becoming an even bigger concern for some, as talks on closing down some local schools are looming. Our Quinn Gorham sat down one-on-one with the governor to get his thoughts on the situation.
The funding crisis with Rochester Public Schools, I mean, that's going to require them to shut down 3 schools. I'm sure you've heard about the situation. You know, we heard all about this historic investment in education. I mean, where does this leave Rochester Public Schools?
Well, demographics change. These are hard decisions to make for folks, but I think once again, we gave more certainty in investments to the future by tying school funding to inflation and making sure that we put the money into things like the cross subsidy that are mandates, good mandates to serve all of our kids, but to make sure they're there. Schools are local control.
Governor Walz also sharing his thoughts with us on the universal free meals in schools across the state.
We heard about the financial situation yesterday. One of the things that we heard is that the free school meals program is costing a bit extra. I mean, for parents who are in Rochester Public Schools, they're looking at a lot of change coming up. Can they count on that program sticking around?
Yes, I am not going to give cuts to wealthy folks to this school meals program. And the idea of, I heard some Republicans talk about these things were squandered. Feeding a child and making sure they're ready for school is not squandering money. And we saw some programs cost less. For example, the unemployment insurance for bus drivers and cooks cost about 3 times less. This is normal when you start to put some of these things in. So let them rest assured we're going to stick with that one.
He touched on the new expansion of Mayo Clinic and the completion of Highway 14 as well. You can watch our full interview with the governor under this story on our website, KTTC.com.
You can help make a difference in young people's lives by becoming a special education teacher. Rochester Public Schools is holding a special ed teacher hiring event today. Anyone with a 4-year degree can actually become an educator. Positions are needed for birth through 3 years old, early childhood, as well as elementary and secondary schools. The walk-in hiring event is happening from 10 until 4 today at the Edison Building, and virtual interviews will also be available for this. It is finally Friday. I always look forward to this day, and it is even better when the weather really shapes up for us. Let's check in with meteorologist David Burgett in for Ted Schmidt this morning. He's out on our weather patio. How's it feeling, David?
Kelsey, Darren, it's feeling pretty fresh on this Friday, if I say so myself. So maybe I'll coin that term, but we are seeing some cooler temperatures outside, but it's actually above average. We're supposed to be seeing temperatures into the teens for the overnight lows for this time of year in December. We're currently seeing temperatures into the upper 30s and lower 40s across the region, so quite warm this morning. Here we are going to be seeing wind speeds out of the west-southwest. They're going to be peaking around 14 to 15 miles per hour there in Preston, in Rochester, even in Mason City. So we're seeing a little bit of these breezy conditions today. We'll see those breezy conditions continue continue into the afternoon hours. But right now we're tracking some cloud coverage coming into the region at the moment along I-35 and creeping up towards western portions of I-90 at the moment. So we'll see some clouds filter in throughout the day, make for some more partly cloudy skies. But for this morning, for the most part, we'll have some mostly clear to clear skies in some places, but we'll be seeing a warm up into the 50s for some more mild conditions and some sunshine in the forecast. But as we get our way into the weekend, overnight tonight, we are going to be seeing a cold front slide its way through as another low pressure system moves on off towards the Chicago area in Wisconsin. That low pressure system and that cold front we're going to see slide on through is going to bring us a chance for some snow on tomorrow morning and afternoon. So I'm tracking that out with all the details in my next forecast in just a few minutes. You're not going to want to miss it.
All right, David, thanks so much for that forecast on this Fresh Friday. I kind of like that one.
Fresh Friday.
Thanks, David. Continuing coverage now, former Olmsted deputy sheriff with the sheriff's office is arrested a second time as part of an ongoing sex crimes investigation. Because 44-year-old Matthew Adamson is a former Olmsted County employee, he is currently behind bars in the Mower County Jail. He is facing 8 new charges, accused of acquiring images of women in the adult detention center where he used to work. Authorities also found child sex abuse materials on his phone. These new charges are separate from Adamson's other charges, which include solicitation of a child. Those were filed last month. He will appear in court in late January for those prostitution-related charges. A court date for the most recent charges has not yet been set. Olmsted County Sheriff Kevin Torkerson did release a statement in response to the charges against the former deputy. He says in part, quote, "The alleged conduct described in these criminal complaints is inconsistent with the values of the sheriff's office, the work of the individual sheriff office employees who have dedicated their lives to public service, and the communities we have sworn to serve."
Property taxes are going up in Olmsted County yet again, which has many residents worried. But according to county officials, the increase is similar to years past and should not be cause for concern. During a truth and taxation meeting held by county commissioners, data shows that the value of properties across the county is going up considerably. Since property values continue to rise, the county is showing how property taxes would also increase. These numbers were approved back in September when we reported on the 5.2% increase year over year. So what exactly does this jump mean for you? Take a look at your screen here. The red bars on this graph show the dollar amount increase and the black line shows the percent increase. 2024 is showing relatively higher than years past in dollar amount, but compared to 2022 and 23, it's pretty similar. The increase, to put it another way, amounts to $22 in property taxes per person. The average increase percentage-wise is about 5%. Olmsted County says if you have any concerns or disagreements on how your property's value was assessed, the time to do it is between April and June.
So most of the increase in cost comes in the form of salary increases, cost of benefits, health insurance continues to increase. Those things are a big contributor to the increase in the levy.
Some taxpayers say there has been a lack of transparency by the county in communicating changes to property taxes. The History Center of Olmsted County says it has also seen a lack of financial support. However, commissioners say that the History Center does receive some of the largest funds from the county and its taxpayers.
As the war between Hamas and Israel reaches the 2-month mark, President Biden is working with Israel's Prime Minister to continue humanitarian aid into Gaza. The president expressing his deep concern for the hostages that remain there, while also stressing that much more assistance is urgently required across the board. In the call, the president reiterated his concern about the extremist violence committed against Palestinians and the need to increase stability in the West Bank. Meanwhile, Minnesota Senator Ilhan Omar is reacting to the U.S.'s response to the ongoing war.
How can our government say we are concerned but do nothing to stop this war? How can we say you need to bomb fewer civilians and then sell them the literal bombs that are being used to bomb civilians? The trauma of the past few months will live in the hearts and minds of Palestinians and Israeli populace for decades to come.
President Biden and the Prime Minister have agreed to remain in regular consultation directly and through their respective national security teams. This weekend, the Rochester Police Department will be spreading extra cheer for the 20th annual Shop with a Cop event. 66 kids from local schools were selected to take part this year. Each will receive a $120 Walmart gift card and be paired with an officer to help buy themselves presents for themselves or their family members this holiday season. After shopping, the kids will have a lunch with their cops, and all the gifts are going to be wrapped by volunteers afterwards. Authorities say that this helps continue building positive relationships between law enforcement and our youth. Shop with a Cop begins at noon at Walmart North. This is always such a fun event to have in our community each year. It's so great to see cops out with kids and doing these types of things. Yeah, I love it.
It's so fun.
It is 6:39. There's a new restaurant coming to Orinoco.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. When we come back, we're going to meet the pair of sisters who are working to bring this family dream to life after we hear from David.
May not look like it, but the sun is slowly starting to rise this morning. We are going to see warm temperatures. Just how warm we're going to get today and how cold we'll get tomorrow, I'll let you know in my forecast coming up.
Two area sisters are working together to make a dream come true by starting their very own restaurant in Orinoco. The new business, called Two Sisters, is a cafe and bar concept with a drive-through option for food. Diane Oslin and Lori Melhorn say the menu is still being developed, but they want to serve true Minnesota comfort food made from scratch. Sounds delicious. Diane and Lori tell us they wanted to start a business in Orinoco to give families a place to gather together.
People are really excited about it. We knew that there was a need, you know, and people have been saying that there's a lot of people in Orinoco and Pine Island and Zumbrota, and there are no restaurants really north of 55th Street. Yeah. So, you know, we knew that there was a need.
The restaurant is expected to open in the summer of 2024. You can find it near Orinoco's Gas and Go on Cedar Avenue Southeast.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist David Burgett.
You know, it's always a good day for Minnesota comfort food. I must say so myself. Maybe I'll get to try some here this winter. But it's also going to be a good day for temperatures too. And we're going to see a nice sunrise at Lake Pepin right now. So it kind of looks like it's a watercolor painting almost. So it's pretty beautiful out right now as the sun's starting to rise. It's 37 degrees still here in Rochester over the last hour. So that's about 21 degrees above average for our overnight lows, where we typically see them here in Olmsted County. So that wind out of the southwest at 14 miles per hour is making it feel a little cooler, 9 degrees cooler at 28 degrees. So temperatures around the region are going to be into the lower 40s here, more southeast of the I-90 corridor, and into the upper 30s all across the area. Not much cloud coverage on the radar besides what's filtering in kind of more west of us now along the I-35 corridor and I-90 corridor right down there. As for today, we're going to see our wind speeds kind of increase up from the 14 mile per hour range up into 17, with gusts into the lower 20s into mid 20s throughout the afternoon hours, which will start to die down towards the evening. So pretty breezy conditions for today. We are going to be seeing our temperatures though peak at 50 degrees here this afternoon. And as a cold front slides through, we're going to see our temperatures take a dramatic turn from the 50s all the way into the low 30s by tomorrow morning and afternoon. So that's going to be kind of the story for today. And tomorrow we'll see lows today. Low 50s for our highs today and lots of sunshine. Tomorrow we'll see a stray snow chance when a cold front moves through and more mild temperatures by next week. So as that cold front kind of comes through, we're going to see the one from Bismarck, North Dakota area start to slide on through our area from the northwest, bringing us a chance for some stray snow kind of north of the I-90 corridor for tomorrow. So tracking this out for you this morning, we're going to have some cloud coverage for some partly cloudy skies, filter in, winds will be out of the west, temperatures today into the 50s. As we get going towards tomorrow morning, we'll start to see a lot of that snowfall make its way towards Mankato and through Marshall, and then along the I-35 corridor into tomorrow afternoon, starting around like the 11 o'clock to noon hour. So kind of north of the I-90 corridor area, we'll see probably the best chance for some rainfall, maybe some back towards Freeborn County and into northeast Iowa for tomorrow. But pretty much by tomorrow evening, we'll be seeing a lot of that snowfall dissipate off towards the west or towards western Wisconsin for us. Temperatures into the 20s by Sunday morning. Stray snow chance for tomorrow to isolated, but anything less than half an inch or less for in terms of accumulation, more to a dusting. So much lighter on that. High temperatures are going to be into the 30s for the upcoming week before we hit a warming trend on Wednesday into Thursday. It can be in the upper 30s and lower 40s. Same thing as we make our way into December. Climate Prediction Center is predicting us to be above average in terms of our temperatures as we make our way into the heart of December. So warmer temperatures are sticking around for us after we get more seasonal for this coming early next week. But into the 40s for today, lower 50s, more sunshine in that stray snow chance tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures a little cooler into the 30s. And over the course of this week, we are going to be seeing lots of sunshine in the forecast, and we are going to be seeing lots of just nice conditions for us here. So,
okay.
Besides that snow.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of sun ahead of us after Saturday. So
yes.
We always appreciate that. Thanks so much, David. It is time now, of course, for our weekly football picks. We do this every Friday, and we know that you guys look forward to it as well for Sunday Night Football. We're getting in the mood. This week on Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles are traveling. They are on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys. So let's take a look at what our team is choosing for our picks this week. So I gotta say, I am a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Okay.
Therefore, I am very much so against the Philadelphia Eagles.
You have to be.
You have to be, I feel like. So I'm going with the Cowboys for this pick, and obviously Jess and Ted are not here today, so they made their picks from afar, you could say. Jess is also going with the Cowboys.
Okay.
What about the rest of the team?
Oh, wow. Okay, Ted's also going. We got stars across the board.
Three for
Let's
three.
show mine. What do I got?
Also,
yeah,
okay.
stars across the board. I'm kind of the same reason you are.
Yeah,
so.
you can't really root for the Eagles,
Yes.
but I guess Steven, our producer, can because he's going with the Eagles this morning. Kendall, our other producer, going with the Cowboys. Last but not least, our production team. Let's see, is Steven? Oh, I was going to say, is he the only Eagles?
Okay, bit of variety here, but obviously we're a little more Cowboys.
Who's in the lead here? It looks like Kendall. They're
Ooh.
11-4.
The producer battle.
Yeah, well, and it'll change now
Yes.
too for whoever wins. So
Yes.
that's going to be
Shaking
exciting.
things up. Do you have a pick, David?
I was probably going to go with the Eagles.
Okay,
man.
okay.
So we're going
So
to
we got a
see
bit
the
more
Philly
variety.
Eagles.
Okay, shaking it up again. Of course, you can watch that game this Sunday night right here on KTTC.
Yes. Should be a good one.
It is 6:49 this morning, budgeting for our holiday gifts. We'll tell you how local financial experts are saying shoppers can plan and save this Christmas.
Plus, a consumer alert, we're going to tell you about a recall potentially linked to lead poisoning in children. We'll explain next.
As shoppers continue their holiday spending, there are a few things to keep in mind before bringing home all of those gifts this year. We spoke with Pulse Financial Planning in Rochester about ways shoppers can plan and budget for the season. One recommendation experts may say that they are making is to be aware of the risks that come from withdrawing a 401k or retirement plan for that holiday shopping. We're told there are major tax implications that could negatively impact the growth of those plans.
It'll be listed as either a traditional or pre-tax. And if you're withdrawing from a traditional or pre-tax retirement plan, you will owe income tax on the distribution. And then also, if you're under the age of 59 and a half, there will be an additional 10% penalty for withdrawing prior to that age.
Experts are also recommending shoppers budget and set aside some money throughout the year to avoid any issues when Christmas time comes.
The Food and Drug Administration says the number of children with symptoms of lead poisoning potentially linked to recalled applesauce pouches has now increased to 64. The children are under the age of 6. The FDA previously recalled 3 products and said cinnamon may be the source of the lead contamination. The agency now says the cinnamon was supplied by a company in Ecuador. According to the FDA, Ecuadorian authorities reported the cinnamon had higher levels of lead than allowed in that country. The agency also says it has conducted an on-site inspection of the facility in Ecuador, and ingredient sample collection is underway. It is 6:54 on this Friday morning. Here's a live look outside this morning on Highway 52. That sunshine is coming through for what's set to be a sunshiny day. David will have a last check of the forecast when we come back. It is 6:56 in our top stories. Now former Olmsted County Sheriff's deputy is arrested for a second time as part of an ongoing sex crimes investigation. Because 44-year-old Matthew Adamson is a former Olmsted County employee, he is currently behind bars in the Mower County Jail. He is facing 8 new charges, accused of acquiring images of women in the adult detention center where he used to work. Authorities also found child sex abuse materials on his phone. These new charges are separate from Adamson's other charges, which include solicitation of a child filed last month. He will appear in court in late January for those prostitution-related charges. A court date for the most recent charges has not been set yet.
You can help make a difference in young people's lives by becoming a special education teacher. Rochester Public Schools is holding a special ed teacher hiring event. It's happening today. Anyone with a 4-year degree can become a teacher. Positions are needed for birth through 3 years old, early childhood, as well as elementary and secondary schools. This walk-in hiring event is from 10 until 4 today at the Edison Building. Virtual interviews are also available.
This weekend, the Rochester Police Department will be spreading extra cheer for its 20th annual Shop with a Cop event. 66 kids from local schools were selected to take part in it this year. Each will receive a $120 Walmart gift card and be paired with an officer to help buy presents for themselves or family members this holiday season. After shopping, kids and cops will have lunch together. Shop with a Cop begins at noon at Walmart North.
And finally this morning, we leave you with the cutest video ever. Take a look at this little guy. It's an 8-week-old northern sea otter pup.
Oh my gosh.
It now has a new home at Chicago's Shed Aquarium. Are you kidding me? Alaska Sea Life Center actually rescued the pup back in October. Experts at the aquarium will now be providing everything that the otter needs to make sure he grows up healthy and strong. I cannot get over how cute this is.
So
that includes feeding him every few hours, of course, soft towel grooming,
oh my gosh.
sounds wonderful, and regular checkups. Shed Aquarium says it will be updating the pup's progress on social media as well. That includes choosing a name, as well as details about when the public can come and see this little guy in action. Now, I will say our producer, Kendall, is a lover of otters. So this story is for her this morning and all the animal lovers in our lives, right?
Oh my gosh,
Come
so
on.
adorable, this little one. It's always so fun to go to the aquarium and see the otters. It's my favorite part, every time.
I think we might need to take a road trip. Chicago?
Let's all go to Chicago. Hey, it's what, a 5-hour drive from here?
Yeah, I mean,
I say we do it.
We should think of a name
Yes.
for the otter on the drive.
Yeah, we go. We have enough time to do it.
We have enough
Yeah.
time.
Probably come up with a good one.
You know what? We'll come up with a good one. Maybe you'll have some alliteration in there,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
Ollie.
Ollie's cute.
Ollie the otter.
Olivia.
Yes, Olivia.
Yeah.
I think we got it.
I don't know. I think those are good. Those
Yeah,
are
I
good
think
so far. I can't think of any more
We got a
right
good start.
now.
We got a good start. Oscar, here we go.
But if you are going to be driving today or taking a road trip today, it'll be really nice. We'll have some partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be more mild and above average into the 50s. Small snow chance for tomorrow if you're north really of the I-90 corridor for tomorrow afternoon. But temperatures will be in the 30s until next Thursday.
All right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to some sunshine
Oh, yeah.
and a little snow tomorrow's not bad. I'm actually decorating the Christmas tree.
Perfect.
So it'll be perfect for that.
Festive.
Yes, just in time for that. Well, thank you so much for watching today. We hope